Good morning, thank you for coming. This is Abrakadoodle, and I have a children's art program. We are a mobile art program. I have a slideshow and a video that I would love to present this morning. Abrakadoodle has been in the area in Central Maryland for approximately 7 years. And I have been the educational director for the past 2 years, and I'm very proud to say that we've been the Maryland Family Magazine winner, choice by families, for after-school programs in 2011 and 2012. What research is saying about art is that children learn by doing, which seems like a very natural way of learning, and they learn 10% of what they hear, 20% of what they hear, 30% of what they see. So by actually doing, they will remember and retain the information. So 90% will learn that way. The children will actually learn how to grow in different areas. A researcher, Erickson, had mentioned that the developmental goals will go into 4 main categories, which is cognitive, emotional, social, and sensory motor development. And they need to have a lot of experiences in these areas in order for them to develop as an adult. And arts can help the children experience and practice in these 4 areas. The art will help develop their cognitive thinking, which is problem solving. Children will experiment with different art materials. They will help develop their learning by just determining their cause and effect. It helps them with their decision making as well. So what we have is the children will decide whether they want big, small, different colors. It helps them develop their decision making. It also helps visual thinking and engaging their skills in that way as well. It also helps their emotional feeling. It's open-ended. Children will help communicate their feelings through their art. So the art materials will also provide a stimulation they can develop some fun activities. It also helps them provide ways to help reduce their stress and their worry through the art skills. And last, we have we have art materials that will actually help facilitate their sharing. So when you're in a group setting and they have to share a crayon, they have to ask and they have to use their manners. It becomes very cooperative. It's not competitive because there's no right or wrong when it comes to art. So the children will practice their social skills within the class as well. And also children who are not as verbal and they're shy, they feel more confident when they are able to become involved in the art activities. And then lastly, which is a pretty way of learning is through arts, is their sensory motor development. And they learn how to coordinate different ranges of scissors and glue and rubbing and scribbling, and they are able to prepare them for real life activities like writing. And it helps them become confident in their skills as well. The more they become exposed to those art materials and develop those fine motor skills, they become more confident. Abrakadoodle is much about the process. So the children learn through the process. It's not the outcome, but it's what they're learning through, like the decision making and the thinking and the social skills. And so we keep it simple and for the preschoolers and toddlers, and it's very open-ended. So we do not say you're not staying within the lines or anything like that. We are very open-ended about their art. And they can ask questions. We love to ask questions about their art. Every piece of art has a story. And it's good to make them think through what the process was and how they became, that actual piece actually became the way it is. So every child we feel is an artist, and we help them develop their own style. Every child, some are minimalists, they'll put one piece of art on there, like one scribble, and some want the entire paper filled. So it's just different styles that we have. What we encourage is for at home is to have art supplies always available. With the toddlers, you always want to participate with them because they like to eat. My one son in preschool made a mural on my wall in my living room, so you always want to be with them when they're working with the art. Play-Doh, which is difficult to get out of carpet, but they love it, and as long as it's, participating with them. Sidewalk chalk, big chunky glue sticks that they can hold their hands, pads of paper, edible fake finger paints where you can use pudding, vanilla pudding, and add color to it, and they can do that on the tray if they eat it. And most Crayola products are non-toxic and washable, and I've had a few put everything in their mouth, ink pad, even down to ink pads. I didn't think a toddler would put an ink pad in their mouth, but they did. So thankfully, we provide all non-toxic. She would. The preschool, you can have a little more freedom. You use the big chunky paint brushes to help them with their fine motor skills. They love tape. Tape is always taboo in the house. Something about colored tape they love to work with. Washable markers, rounded scissors. You can start doing the hand over hand where you actually hold the paper and they can use the scissors. Sculpting helps them with rolling and pinching. You can use Model Magic, which will dry overnight. So those are some things. With Abrakadoodle, our mission is to enhance the lives of children by creating an educationally rich learning environment that ignites their imagination, leads them to their own unique creativities, talents, and abilities. I do have a video that I'd like to show you. It kind of showcases Abrakadoodle. It was an interview through Maryland Public Television. It's about 3 minutes long. And this is with an elementary group of children, but we do the same routine as we do with the preschoolers and the toddlers. 60
franchises across the country. Abrakadoodle is slowly making a name for itself in the art education world. One Howard County woman saw a promising business opportunity and signed right up. Yolanda Vasquez explains in this week's Behind the Biz.
Well, Jeff, Abrakadoodle is an art education franchise company that got its start about 10 years ago, and since then, they've grown a strong presence here in Maryland. In fact, you're looking at an art class that's going on right here in Howard County. These students are doing a Kandinsky lesson. That's a very popular painter, Jeff, just in case you didn't know. Joining me now to tell me a little bit more about Abrakadoodle and how it works is Lisa Marianelli. Pleasure to meet with you. You own one of these local franchises, I should say.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful anytime I'm around kids and artwork. So for folks who don't know about Abrakadoodle, explain the concept behind it.
Abrakadoodle comes into different classes and locations, the schools, private schools, summer camps, community colleges, after school classes, and we introduce different artists, art history, different techniques, art mediums, watercolor, paints, sculptures, collage, all kinds of different techniques that they can learn and explore, and they create their own art without any type of right or wrong type of environment.
So how is this different from the art education programs that are offered in schools? I know a lot of budgets are being slashed, but sometimes you will come in place of that and work with a lot of schools and work with a lot of after-school programs, correct? You were telling me about that?
Absolutely. We're a package deal. We come in with the instructor, the materials, the curriculum. The curriculum exceeds the visual art standards. And we encourage the kids to learn through the process. There's no right or wrong, and we're really excited about them being creative and having their own style. So they just be able to have their own style and be creative and have fun while they're at it.
And there's a little bit of a structure to it because when we think of art, it's very creative, but there's also an educational component. I mean, the students kind of came in earlier.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing we saw. Tell me about that.
Yes, the first thing they do is they come in and they learn about the artist, their actual art piece, a little bit about any sort of techniques. There is definitely an educational component to it, but they don't realize that they're learning through the process. They learn about abstract artists, they learn about different types of styles, realist, cubism, impressionism, just all these vocabulary and art vocabulary that's introduced to them that they don't typically have exposure in an enrichment program.
So it's been several years since you've been involved with Abrakadoodle. How did you first learn about it? I think you said you were teaching first, and you have an education background and a degree. And then how did you go from teaching to owning one of your own franchises? And what do you need to know about doing that?
Yes, absolutely. I actually had my kindergartner son in the class. And he loved it so much, and I was trying to encourage that opportunity for him to be creative. So basically, I taught, and then I went to program management, and actually managed different businesses, and then I just love the kids. I love the art, and there's different franchises, different territories that are still available throughout the country, and you just have to have a passion for kids and for art to become involved in the Abrakadoodle program.
And what advice would you give to someone who might be interested in doing something like this or any other kind of franchise? Because I would imagine there was probably a little bit of a learning curve initially, right?
Absolutely. You want to make sure you want to be your own boss. That's something that my husband actually says that I always wanted to do my own thing. And what's great about the Abrakadoodle program is that it gives you the structure and the training, the support, and so you're not out there on your own. You have the curriculum, and it's nice to have that sort of background in that franchise, that you aren't out there by yourself.
Right. As you mentioned, they're headquartered in Virginia, so they're right down the street if you have any questions. Well, Lisa, it was a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you for coming.
No, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. And if you'd like to find out more information about Abrakadoodle, just log on to our website at mpt.org and click on Your Money in Business. All right, Jeff, that'll wrap it up here from Howard County. Let me send you back to the kids who are doing a lovely Kandinsky lesson. Is that correct?
Yes.
Don't they look absolutely... Oh, got a smile. You're painting.
Thank you for listening to a little bit about art and creativity with children. And I can't get back to my slideshow, but anyway. So basically with Abrakadoodle, we start with 20 months all the way up to elementary age. We have summer camps. In fact, with Howard County Park and Rec, we have 7 different summer camps that we're doing with preschoolers from ages 3.5 to 6 years old. We also have classes Wednesday evenings and Saturday mornings with the preschoolers as well. And it's very much like the elementary grade class that we've seen, except it would be more towards the preschool set and their abilities. But you would be surprised what art they actually do create. It's pretty exciting. So thank you for your time. Thank you.